Welcome back to video. Part 3, Free Stock Promo plus Long-Term Index Strategy. Now, this next step is super important, getting a free stock. Since I already planned to mention Trading 212, I reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in sponsoring this section of the video. Good news, they agreed. They're offering a free stock worth up to £100 to anyone who uses the code Tilbury when opening an account. Even better, you can invite friends and earn more free shares. As long as your friend funds their account, you both get a bonus. So don't waste invites on people who won't invest, send them to folks who'll actually use them. Oh, and if you opened an account within the last 10 days, don't worry. You can still apply the promo code Tilbury inside the app and claim your free stock. Alright, now let's plan a winning strategy. Here's the first thing you should know: stock prices go up and down. Picking individual winning stocks is tough, even for experts. That's why I prefer to invest in all of them. Sounds crazy? Let me explain. I'm a big music fan, love bands like Deacon Blue and Queen. No matter your taste, if you've ever listened to the radio or Spotify, you've seen how music charts work. The more popular a song is, downloads, streams, sales, the higher it climbs in the charts. If it flops, it drops off the list. Now imagine doing that with companies instead of songs. That's what an index fund does. Take the S/&P 500, for example. It's a list of around 500 of the biggest US companies, like Amazon, Apple, Google, and Tesla. And just like music charts, if a company underperforms, it gets kicked out. When you invest in an index fund, you're putting money into every company on that list. So even if one or two stocks crash, your portfolio stays stable because you're diversified. Here's how to put that into practice: automate your investments. Remember earlier I mentioned my son was doing a little experiment? For the last 3 months, he's been investing £5 per day into the S/&P 500. Why £5? That's roughly the cost of a Starbucks coffee. Automating like this is a smart move. It's set and forget. His portfolio is doing well so far, currently £36.46 up, which equals a 5.03% return. Not bad for a small, consistent experiment. If you'd like me to share updates once it hits the 6-month mark, drop a comment below and let me know. Ready for part 4, setting up auto investment pies and long-term growth projection. To set up an automated investment like this, just go into the pies section of the app and hit the plus icon. Now you can choose the stocks or funds you want in your pie. To keep things simple, we'll go with an S/&P 500 index fund. One small tip: check if it says accumulation or distribution in the name. I personally always go with accumulation, because it reinvests your dividends automatically. The less I have to manage, the better. Now tap Add to Pie, then press the arrow to move forward. If you had added multiple stocks, this is where you could adjust their percentages using the slider. But since we're just adding one for now, we'll skip that. Next, tap Auto Invest. Here's the cool part: this value projection shows how much money you could earn based on historical averages. Of course, remember that investments can rise and fall. And there's always a risk you could get back less than you put in. Still, it gives you a great rough estimate using real past data. For example, if you invested £250 per month over 31 years, you would have contributed a total of just £94,000. But your portfolio would grow to around £1.14 million. Now stretch that to 40 years, and you're looking at a total of £3.56 million. It's honestly motivating to play around with this tool, seeing how small monthly investments can build up into life-changing wealth. Let me know when you're ready for part 5, inflation, stock picking, and fundamental versus technical analysis. Now, I know some people are already thinking, But what about inflation? Won't it eat away at your money? If you're investing regularly, instead of just letting your cash sit idle in a savings account, inflation isn't a major concern, ***. Plus, I made it a point to increase my investments over time to keep up with inflation. Alright, let's talk about picking individual stocks. While I honestly don't recommend beginners start here. I get it, you've seen people make huge profits on meme stocks like GameStop. So you're probably curious to try. There are two main ways to analyze the stock market. 1. Technical analysis. 2. Fundamental analysis. Technical traders focus on charts, price patterns, and timing. They try to predict short-term movements just by watching graphs. I'm not really into that. I take a long-term approach. I care more about a company's fundamentals. Its financial health, leadership team, and how strong the brand is. To me, that's where the real clues are when you're looking for long-term winners. So I dig into income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow reports. Whenever I invest in a company, I'm committing for the long haul, at least 2 to 5 years minimum. To find stocks on the app, just tap the magnifying glass icon. Trading 212 makes it super easy by offering pre-made stock lists like Big Tech, Popular ETFs, Banks, Most Owned Stocks. Explore these when you get a chance. And if you're ever stuck, you can check out the Social Feed tab. There, you'll find pies created by other users, and with a single tap, you can copy their entire portfolio. It's a great way to start if you're not sure what to buy. Scroll down on any stocks page to access all those key financial documents I mentioned earlier.